Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about potentially the most hyped up character before this year ends, which is going to be none other than Jack Garland himself. We are finally going to be getting him on the global side, so we're going to be talking about his abilities, and I'm going to let you guys know whether or not he is actually worth pulling for. Not only that, but we will also briefly talk about the other banner, which does include Gilgamesh, who is going to be getting a small rework, and we'll talk about the banner mates for both banners. So, do let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be, if you're going to be pulling for Jack Garland or if you're actually going to be skipping him. Do let me know down in the comments below. And of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. A big thank you to all of my YouTube members for further supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys greatly. If you are interested in becoming a member and further supporting the channel, click the link in the description below or hit the join button for details on how to become a member. I just recently updated a few of the tiers for my YouTube memberships, so if you are interested in joining, please check it out and see if you would like to support the channel even more. And a shout out to Kev's Sax King 05 and KSI Sis. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. So let's first start off by going over Jack Garland's skill. So his skill 1 grants the Cyclic Warrior Overhead for 6 turns, then deals a 4-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that deals split HP damage and allows for 180% stolen max brave overflow. His overhead provides him with a 30% attack and max brave up, and when inflicting or attacking an enemy with break, it triggers his follow-up attack, Soul Burst. Now, Soul Burst deals a 4-hit melee brave plus an HP attack that allows for minus brave limit of 100% of own max brave, allows for 120% stolen max brave overflow, then deals a melee HP damage attack to the target based on the minus brave value, and it doesn't consume his brave. Now his skill 2 grants the overhead for 6 turns, then deals a 5-hit melee brave plus an HP attack 3 times that deals 50% splash damage and allows for 150% stolen max brave overflow. His EX grants his Light Bringer buff for 2 turns, then deals a 4-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 5 times that deals split HP damage and allows for 180% stolen max brave overflow. His Light Bringer buff provides Jack with a 50% max brave up and brave damage up, and when attacking a broken target, steals brave beyond 0 to the negative value up to 200% of own max brave. So pretty much like Jack will have a much higher negative max brave onto the enemy. His LD breaks all enemies, then deals a 4-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 3 times that deals full HP damage and allows for 150% stolen max brave overflow. It recovers 1 use of his skill 1 and skill 2. It grants the 1 guided by the Fool buff for 12 turns. Now his LD buff provides him with a 40% brave damage up, a 20% HP damage up, and a 30% stolen brave overflow up and stolen brave damage up. When attacking or, when breaking or attacking a broken target, he gains an additional 40% brave damage up, 20% HP damage up, and a 20% stolen brave damage up. His Soul Burst Plus now deals an 8-hit melee brave plus an HP attack 2 times that allows for minus brave limit of 200% of own max brave, then deals a melee HP damage attack to the target based on minus brave value. Now, with the Emperor as his partner, Jack Garland's FR deals an AoE HP attack 3 times that deals split HP damage. While active, it provides the party with a 30% brave damage cap up. Now his FR conditions are as follows: a 20% increase whenever the teammate uses a melee ability, a 20% increase whenever the enemy is in break at the end of the teammate's turn, and a 30% increase when the enemy has less than 0 brave at the end of the teammate's turn. His C65 that lasts for 6 turns grants him a 20% max brave up, a 40% attack up, and a 40% brave damage cap up. Now Jack's BT deals a 10-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack 2 times that deals split HP damage and grants his Soul of Chaos BT effect for 6 turns and the Chaos Bringer buff for 6 turns. Now his BT effect provides the following. To himself, he gains free ability uses. The party will be receiving a 50% party attack up, 50% party brave damage cap up, 30% party HP damage cap up, and the party deals additional HP damage on HP attacks by 30% of the target's minus brave. His Chaos Bringer buff that replaces his Light Bringer buff from his EX grants him an 80% max brave and brave damage up and minus brave limit up by 400% of max brave. Now for Gilgamesh, the rework that he is going to be getting to his skill 1 gains 2 uses and now deals 4 HP attacks. His skill 2 gains 1 use, gains an increase in brave potency and grants 1 level of the big man on the big bridge for 6 turns. His big man buff adds a 10% attack down on enemies, gains more attack up based on levels, and while at level 5 gains a 100% critical hits rate up, a 50% critical brave damage up, upgrades his brave attack command to Kotetsu and his HP attack command to Genji Blade, and when using Wild Dance it does not revert the changed HP or brave command. His Wild Dance does gain more brave hits and brave potency. Now his EX passive gains a 30% brave damage up, totaling 80%, a 40% brave gains up, and a 40% stolen/gained max brave overflow up. His EX now deals a 3 hits AoE melee brave plus a single target HP attack 5 times with brave potency increase. His real Mensch buff adds a 20% attack up, 40% brave damage up, and a 20% stolen brave damage up. His LD gains more brave potency, allows for 200% stolen max brave overflow, recovers 50% brave in between HP attacks. His Wanderer of the Rift buff adds a 40% attack up, and he now retains 20% brave on HP attacks. And finally, whenever you are using Royal Sword, Apocalypse, Icebrand, or Myth Graven Blade, which is the change HP command that will change to one of these 4 abilities, it now turns into a 3-hit melee brave plus an HP attack 3 times with brave potency increase. So let's talk about both banners, and I'm gonna let you guys know whether or not you should pull for any of the characters in either the Gilgamesh or the Jack Garland banner. Now let's first start off with the Gilgamesh banner because it's not gonna be too much to talk about. So Gilgamesh does get a pretty good upgrade and whatnot, increase in potency and all that good stuff to be able to meet the needs that where we stand in global Shinryu. But I feel like Gilgamesh is still like one of those like characters where, like, unless he is a favorite of yours, he's more of like the character where, you know, if you want to have a little bit of fun with a character that you would normally not use, then Gilgamesh would actually not be a bad choice at all to green and, you know, to just do some silly stuff with. Like, I actually greened Gilgamesh when we were first able to do so on global, and I actually had a lot of fun with him. Like, yeah, you do have to play with a little bit of RNG with his change HP command, which can change to one of the 4 abilities, which is Onion Knights, Ramza, Paladin Cecils, and Cloud's LD abilities. But it's a character where it's like you never know what you're gonna expect out of Gilgamesh. And like Gilgamesh, yeah, with the rework and everything that he got, he'll be able to deal some damage and whatnot. But with the prize being Jack Garland, I feel like some players may overlook Gilgamesh and what he could potentially do. Again, he has access to the 4 other characters' LD abilities, but you know, you got to play with RNG with that. His BT effect is actually not too bad when you take a look at it. His BT effect, let me pull that up real quick. Actually provides the party, depending on the stack level, with additional brave damage up, HP damage cap up, and stolen max brave overflow up and HP damage up, and the percentages are actually not too bad. So like Gilgamesh, like if you decide that you want to play or put him on a team, he could easily be that 3rd slot character that can provide some pretty good BT ores or party ores from his BT effect. But overall though, I would say because of the fact that everybody's going to be hyped up for Jack Garland, I would say you could probably hold off on Gilgamesh. Hopefully later down the line, whenever he gets an FR and a potential rework, then he'll become a much stronger DPS unit. Now the side characters or the LD characters for the Gilgamesh banner are going to be his own LD weapon, Steiner's and Ida's. Steiner not too bad of a character. He's like one of those like third slot units if you want to get some party ores, defensive ores, like brave gains and stuff like that. You also are going to be getting a nice add-on with brave regen, because you're literally recovering brave on every field action. So that, that's a nice little bonus, but I would say he's not anything like too crazy right now to be chasing over. With Yuta, most of the time you're going to be using her for her LD call ability during like co-op sessions and whatnot, and that's pretty much about it. Unless you have Sephiroth and you want to do the whole like Yida off thing where you are constantly breaking with Yida, so long as you do the rotations correctly, then you can do that. But I would say it's not really like necessary, especially if you are going to be pulling on a Garland banner, because you do have a better call ability, a better LD call ability that you can actually use during co-op. Now, the biggest prize for the upcoming story event is, of course, Garland. Now, Garland, he has some very, very good damage output, and he has some strong follow-up damage as well. His damage output from his skills are pretty good. His biggest thing is going to be the fact that, like, with the whole minus brave value and whatnot, and how high you could potentially get it up to 400% if you do have his BT effect active, then the final HP attack on his follow-up can potentially be a really strong one. And thankfully, though, his follow-ups can be affected by force, so the damage output is going to be good. Focusing on increasing his max brave stats will equal for higher minus brave value for those follow-ups. So that is going to help you out greatly, and also it's going to help out for your teammates while you have his BT effect active. Unless you're going into the BT phase with Garland, then, well, screw your teammates, because it's all going to be focused on going ham during the BT phase with Garland. But like in general, if you're going to like take advantage of maybe like a turn or two from Garland's BT effect, then do note that they will also benefit with helping out your teammates in increasing their damage output. Now, his follow-ups will help, or follow-up characters is what I meant to say for this next point, will help out to keep control of enemies' brave. So pairing them up with some pretty good follow-up characters, like take example like Core, Kane, Young, the list can go on with the amount of follow-up characters that we have now, will definitely help him out, especially if they are able to attack beforehand. So specifically Core, if we're going to be talking about certain follow-up characters, then Core would be a really good one, especially if they do manage to gain some brave on Jack's following turn or during the BT phase. Like, that would actually help out Jack in case you do not break the enemy and you do have Jack's FR active, because one of Jack's FR conditions is that they pretty much have to have like no brave at all. They got to be broken or whatever. So like that will help him out greatly. And of course, it will also add to the damage output for that BT phase. Pairing him up with supports that will help in increasing his max brave stats. Ramza is actually a really, really good choice to pair up with Garland. So if you have Ramza, Garland, and then like a follow-up character, whether it be like Core, Kane, whoever it is whoever of your choosing that you want to use, would actually be a very solid team to have. If anything, if by chance you do not have Ramza, but like you are able to increase the HP damage cap up for Garland, do know that with the amount of ways that he is able to increase his max brave stat, and you can even increase it via spheres, then you wouldn't have to worry too much about it. So you have more of an option to pair up with other supports, like let's say like Luna Freya, Charlotta, so on and so forth, depending on who it is that you have. But a lot of the recent support characters will help Garland's overall like damage output greatly. And then the one con that I will say about Garland is going to be that if the enemies cannot get broken, Jack's damage output gets cut in half, because like he will not trigger his follow-ups if the enemy is not broken, or if he does not break set targets. So like you got to make sure to have that consistency of breaking the enemy, so you can gain that strong follow-up that he is able to deal. If not, then I would do the obvious thing and use another character if you're unable to do so. Even though I did see some JP players still run Jack Garland in those type of fights where you cannot break the enemy, but at the same time, though, like, do you really want to miss out on that strong follow-up damage? I don't think so. So, yeah, overall, though, Jack Garland is very much worth your resources. Like, he is, in my opinion, even up till now, even though he does need to be backed up with FR Echo to increase the HP damage bonus, so that way, if he goes into BT phase, he'll start off at a much higher percentage. Jack Garland, I do feel like, is still pretty viable in current JP. At least that's just my opinion, and I feel like he will definitely be well worth here in terms of content. The amount of times that you can actually use him, especially with no element attached to him, and in case we have those elemental type fights, then yeah, Jack Garland will actually be really good for you for the next couple of months. So I would say definitely go for this strong DPS unit. Now the side the banner mates for the main Jack Garland banner, which is going to be Rajan and Cyan. Cyan, LD call ability all the way, unless you're going to have him in the team. But you're mainly going to be using him for co-op sessions to, you know, knock out the enemy much quicker. And then when it comes to Rajan, that LD debuff is still very much viable. If you do not have it, and if you are going to be pulling for it, try to get that that LD call ability, because that debuff is really good, and it will help you out in a lot of upcoming Shinryu fights and avoiding like debuffs or getting smacked by a strong HP attack out of nowhere. So but other than that though, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I've pretty much covered everything for the upcoming banners. Do let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and again, let me know what your plans are going to be for the upcoming banners, if you're going to be pulling or skipping. And again, a big thank you to all of my YouTube members for the continuous support. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.